Guys, I want your attention on this video. Let's learn something together from the beginning to the end of this video. There's a lot to learn, so stay tuned. Let's watch.
Your remarks recently at the Senate seem to suggest that he's diverting, General Traore, is diverting its 4 billion gold reserves to sustain his military rule rather than for public welfare. These remarks sparked widespread condemnation across the continent. What did you mean by that statement?
Let me speak to Burkina Faso's sovereignty. They maintain their sovereignty. They make their decisions how they use their resources. They make their decisions who their resources go to for military support. That's their sovereign right. But my cautionary tale was just from a military perspective. That was a Senate Armed Services Committee asking me a direct question. Burkina Faso, a lot of great things going on to progress them forward, okay? But then when you look at the military part of it, knowing that that's the epicenter of global terrorism, it was my time to illuminate that this is probably their weakest point, and there needs to be sufficient resources going towards for the whole fight of terrorism in that country, period. They make their decisions though. That's their sovereignty, their sovereign right to make their decisions, what is appropriate, what's not.
Does that then threaten America's interests?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Because especially ISIS, and of course in East Africa is inextricably linked all the way to ISIS West Africa, ISIS Sahel. And there's going to be probably a move afoot for them to move and seek refuge within the line. So we have shared objectives, and we offer to work together with the Burkinabe government and border countries. What these terrorist organizations do, they seek refuge in the seams or the borders of these countries and lets them thrive and grow and lets them recruit, gain resources to carry on their illicit and nefarious activities against the populations of those people.
And what?
So I believe by now many of you have seen a video of this particular man, General Michael Langley, that went viral after he accused Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traore, of using Burkina Faso resources not to benefit Burkinabe people, but to protect his military regime and also for his own personal protection. So recently he went to Kenya and they asked him about this particular statement that he made few months ago. And he turned everything around, trying to say that his concern was that Burkina Faso is receiving a lot of terrorist attacks, which made the whole country almost half of the country's resources is going in against fighting against terrorist attack. And that is his concern about the whole statement that he made few months ago. Mind you, this was not what he said, but he really said that Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traore was using Burkinabe people resources to protect his personal military regime and not to benefit Burkinabe people. Looking at this man, how he talked, he sounds like someone who really meant well for Burkinabe and also someone who have the interests of Africans in his heart. But you know what, General Michael Langley, we were expecting you to raise this kind of concern when France was exploiting uranium from Niger, using minor children to work in mining sectors, in exploiting uranium from Niger citizens. The same uranium that Niger sell to France, they will still have to request 20% of their own money that has been kept in France banks. And in this 20% of the money that they can request, they will have to write an application for the application to get approved before they will have access to the money. And also, they will still have to pay with interest. You'd never raise any concern about that. And also, let me tell you something. You see, Africa, we are not in back in the 90s or even in that time that you people use English to confuse us. You cannot brainwash us or confuse us with English anymore. This was exactly how you people painted Gaddafi to become the black goat to Libyans, to make Libyans believe that Gaddafi is a dictator, was a dictator, and like he don't have the interest of Libyans in his heart, but he's getting rich by the day. He's using Libyans to get rich. So you people wanted to secure the country for Libya, and this was exactly what came out from it.
We were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. And every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like European like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the U.S. and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go.
So this was what come out of you people when you try to secure Libya for Libyans, when you try to secure the country because you claim Gaddafi was a dictator and you wanted to secure Libya. And also, let me tell you something. All we want from you people is not to do security partnership with us, but to let us depend on our own. You say that the attacks on Burkina Faso raised after His Excellency Ibrahim Traore took over. Yes, because he's doing well for his people. Now, I think you just even answer yourself. You understand? Why is terrorists not attacking other African countries like they are attacking Burkina Faso? Because like this man said, Ibrahim Traore is trying to unite Africa, and you people see it as a threat to you guys. So you have to make sure that you do whatever you can to get him off. You understand? To overthrow him. We fear you guys. You understand? We are scared of you people. We don't want to do security partnership with you people. So the only thing we want from you people is to depend on ourselves, to make our mistakes and learn from them. You understand? We are scared of you peoples. There are many African countries who need your help, but you are not working towards there. Your concern is Burkina Faso. What must it be Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso is doing well, and you admit it yourself. So you people should concentrate on other side of Africa and not Burkina Faso. So General Michael Langley, if you really, really mean well for African continents, as a son of Africa, a son of the homeland, I'm pleading with you to let this Burkinabe president be. Don't do security partnership with them. We want to learn on our own, learn how to defend ourselves without you. You must not be the only person that tell us how to do this and do that and do that. You understand? And also, I'll prove to you that this your so-called curiosity, like so-called interest that you want to fight against terrorism is not exactly what you claim it to be, but this is what you are trying to protect. Watch
Africa,
this video and you will see
historically,
what I'm talking about.
Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the...
So like this man said in the video, our role as African continent is to what? To produce the raw materials for you people. And the whole organization in the world now is to keep Africa impoverished so that we can continue to produce the raw materials. And we are trying to avoid that because you know why? We have waken up right now. Like Muhammad Ali tell you guys, we want to depend on our own. You might get broke one day. You might not be there when I need you the most. You understand? So you guys should let us be and build on our own. We are trying to, like, we are afraid of you. Like, you understand? We don't want any interference. Like, you know, there are Burkina Faso has been there without your security partnership for years, since the beginning of this world. Burkina Faso was there, and you never do security partnership with them. Why now? Why now? That's my question. Why is it that it's now that you want to do security partnership to secure borders, as you claim? We don't want you to secure our borders. We can secure our borders on our own. You can keep on securing your own border to make sure that the terrorists don't get to you, which they will never get to you. I know that. But for us, we will prefer to secure our borders on our own. You understand? Than you trying to help us secure them. If you help us secure them today, tomorrow, what if you are not there tomorrow? You understand? And also, I'll tell you something, General Michael Langley, I don't really blame you. I blame our African leaders that cannot come to agreement to know what they stand for and also to know how other parts of the world see them. I strongly believe that there's no army general in Africa, any part of Africa, that will even have the opportunity to sit with His Excellency Donald Trump one-on-one discussing security partnership with him. But our government will have to do that. Our president will have to do that. But for you, our president, our leaders see you as the whole world. They see you as someone very big for you to get the chance to be sitting with them, not even your president, but you to be sitting with them, discussing security partnership with them. That's how low Africans can be. That's how low our African leaders can place themselves. If they must discuss security partnership, I remember recently when, and it's still going on, when Russia and Ukraine are having issues, President Zelensky was the one that came to President Donald Trump to discuss security partnership with them. You understand? When President Trump wanted to discuss security partnership with Russia, he called His Excellency Vladimir Putin, and not to send a general, a marine general, that if not because African leaders don't even respect themselves, You are not even qualified to sit before African presidents discussing security partnership with them. It's something that is needed to be discussed between a president and not a general and a president. But because our Africans they don't even know what they stand for. They don't even know what they come on power to do. They will see you as the president of the United States of America to give you the chance to manipulate them, thinking that they are giving you the chance to secure their country. But I'll tell you something. You see, General Michael Langley, no matter what, you see, this continent that you people want to be impoverished, in order to produce the raw materials that you guys want them cheap, this continent will be liberated one day. It will be liberated one day. Take note of that. No matter what, it will be liberated, whether you want it or not. That's the truth, because we don't want to be in this position anymore. We are now trying to avoid where we will be seen like the black goat, you understand, where we will be, our visas will keep on getting denied, where we will have to wait for months before traveling to certain countries. We are trying to build on our own, that in a way that we will not need you, we will not need to submit applications into your embassies. So please, I think we can survive without your security partnership. So we don't need any security partnership for you helping Burkina Faso to secure their borders. Try to help your own country secure your own border. Because like I said, we are running from the Western powers because we see them as terrorism that are attacking us. If not, I wonder where terrorists will have access to drones to use, that even no any African military base that have access to those drones. That's the question you should ask yourself. Where did terrorists have access to those drones? You should ask yourself that. And if terrorists can have access to those drones, it simply means that they are connected with people in higher places. So that person that we are running from, that same person cannot help us fight for security. You understand? He cannot help us secure our own country. You understand? The fat worm that you have used in cover your hook to take over Libya, to make sure that you take Gaddafi out, I think that fat worm is not working right now. Maybe you should look for another one to cover your own hook. But for now, we can see the hook naked coming, and we are not ready to get into this hook. Make una dey watch television.